Hey everyone, Rick Becker here with End Unfair Property Tax. We are talking about the initiated measure to end property tax in North Dakota. This is part 4 in a video series, and the question is, what about apartment renters? So I get this question a lot. It's a good question. I have frequently said, when this passes, every single person in North Dakota will benefit, bar none. Every single person will benefit. Clearly, it's a no-brainer that property owners, homeowners are going to benefit. Okay. This measure does eliminate all residential property tax, all commercial property tax, all agricultural property tax. All property tax is gone. The thing with apartment owners, I hear a lot, this is not going to help them, but that's not true because apartment renters do pay property tax. It's built in to the rent they pay. And people will say, well, my rent won't go down. The landlords are greedy. It's going to go up just like it always has. First off, I will tell you, anything that's been done for property tax, the buy downs and all of that, that hasn't worked. So if you haven't seen that your rent for your apartment has gone down or at least hasn't leveled out, it just keeps going up, we haven't had any actual property tax relief that has worked. So that's a separate issue. Yes, apartment renters pay the tax in their rent. Will their rent go down? It might. Okay. More likely or more commonly, rent just won't increase. And the increases that will come will be pushed farther down the road and they'll be much less. Now, I do get a lot of pushback and people say, that's bullcrap, Becker. The landlords are greedy. They're going to snatch up every penny they can. And here's the thing. My argument does not rest on an apartment owner, a landlord, being generous, right? Or being caring and compassionate. No, not at all. This is basic economics, okay? Think about this. In many towns, apartment owners, landlords, are trying very hard to get people to rent their apartments. They're trying to fill their spaces. They don't like vacancies. Vacancies mean lost revenue. Vacancies potentially mean going in the hole. You need to have your apartments filled or you're going to lose money because you have a big mortgage. You have insurance. You have utilities. So you have to get those apartments filled. Why do you think you see the big waving banners in front of apartments saying rent here, saying 1 month free, 2 months free, 3 months free, whatever it might be? It's not because they're generous. It's because they are competing against other apartment owners to get someone to lease their apartment. So if you live in a town where there are a lot of vacancies and apartment owners are trying really hard, and now when this passes, their number one cost is eliminated. That means that their cash flow suddenly goes up. That means if they're competitive, all they need to do is lower their rent and they're going to beat out the guy across the street to get people to rent the apartments and fill their space. This is, if you live in a place that is not that competitive, there are some openings, but it's no big deal. What you're going to find is that maybe rents aren't going to go down, but they're not going to go up, because if a landlord increases the rent, that gives a distinct advantage to the landlord across the street who doesn't increase the rent, and people are going to go there. When it's time to renew your contract, you're going to get out of the one that's too expensive and you're going to go to the other one. It's the same in the competitive market where they lower the price. There is going to be a downward pressure, right? That's how we talk about it in economics, a downward pressure on pricing for rent. If people say, again, that's bullcrap, they're going to increase the rent, they're greedy, they're going to just take it all, I can tell you what's going to happen. Nothing is different here for landlords of apartments than it is for any other business. If they are in a market where they just say, forget it, man, I'm increasing the rent, I raise the rent 5% or 10% every year, I'm going to keep doing it, their cash flow is going to be really high, right? That their profit is going to be really high. That sends a signal to everyone else who is looking to have an investment. If you build an apartment building here, you can offer rent for hundreds of dollars less per unit, and you will become profitable because you will have the entire market. Your apartment that you just built, your apartment building, is going to be full within a year because you are offering rent much cheaper than the guy who is already there. And you're still making a great profit because you don't have that expense. There is a downward pressure. This is a law of economics. Please, I don't care if you believe landlords are evil or greedy. It doesn't matter. We don't rely on compassion for the market to work. A free market affords the best possible price for everyone. This is the same when it comes to housing. So that's it. Everyone benefits. Every single person in North Dakota benefits. Keep in mind that in addition to either having your rent lowered or at least not increase year after year after year, remember we talked about that the landlord will have increased cash flow, meaning profit. That means for the landlords that are good landlords, they are going to be in a position where they can do property improvements. They can put in new carpet in your place. They can fix the fence around your place. They can repaint. They can put in new counters, new cabinetry. They can do whatever repairs are needed. That makes it a nicer place for you to live. So you get that benefit as well as the benefit of hopefully not having your taxes increase. There's an additional benefit. For those of you who are renters or people you know who are renters, if they want to become homeowners, it is more difficult now than it has been for decades because of interest rates and so forth. Very difficult. When you are looking at buying a home, you have to consider the entire monthly cost, right? Your payment to the bank, but then you also have to include insurance, which isn't typically that much, but you also have to include property tax. If there's no property tax, when you're looking at your monthly budget, can we afford to move into a house? Can we buy a starter home? You take that property tax off the table. That's an amount you no longer have to pay each month. That means it's more likely that if you want to, you can afford to move into a home. So again, last time, it's great for everyone. It's particularly good for realtors. It's particularly good for construction and all of the building trades. It's just good for everyone. I think, I hope that you all see that. If you have questions, search me out. I'm happy to answer them. But this is something you can hang your hat on. All right. Thanks for tuning in.